Okay, guys, ladies, gentlemen, whatever. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Mike just said chat was not available, reconnecting, and it never reconnected. So if you're in my other live, hopefully you find me on this one. Just watch the funniest thing. You saw it. Oh my gosh. Anybody that did not see the parody, Shimmer Soul has literally epitomized. I was laughing my head off. I thought I was going to fall out of the chair, wet myself, and I don't know what. Looked like me. She didn't really sound like me because she has the Shimmer Soul accent and everything, but she definitely characterized me. It was a riot. I enjoyed every minute of it. And she didn't do it in a cruel way. She didn't do it to hurt me. She didn't do it to, bash me or smear me or anything. She's just having fun. And she gets it. She's really talented. Oh my gosh. I love people do parodies. It was good-hearted. It was so funny. I was laughing. Who breathed like that? Matthew, did you breathe like that? Oh my God. She put the head covering on and everything. It was so funny. Oh, wow. I enjoyed that immensely. I really did. I'm just wondering which person was fronting when she did it. Like, was it Tanya or Crystal? Usually it's Tanya or Crystal that does it. So I'm guessing it might have been Tanya. I don't know. But it was funny as heck. Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Seriously. Anyway, let's get back to our discussion. We were talking about, what were we talking about? Narcissistic mothers. Oh, I know. It was so funny, One Love. It was hysterically funny. All right. So, or narcissistic parents, I guess, or egg donors, sperm donors. So they can't handle their children growing up and becoming independent. Blech. I can't talk. All right, so they get very threatened by that. They do everything they can to prevent it from happening. They don't let the child grow up a lot of times. They create a dependency in the children on them. So it's not healthy. All right, so let's talk about narcissistic defenses, because it is a type of a self-defense. Narcissism is. I'm talking about unhealthy narcissism. Yes, we all have narcissistic traits to an extent. Otherwise, we wouldn't protect ourselves. When we go out in the rain, we wouldn't put on, head covering gear and umbrella and whatever. We have a certain level of self-protection, which is considered narcissism. It's a self-focus. We make sure we protect ourselves. We make sure we cover up in cold weather. We make sure that we don't hang out with toxic people because we'll be hurt and wounded. That's a little bit of narcissism. But this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about severe narcissism, like malignant narcissism, overt narcissism, covert narcissism. People that it infiltrates their entire life in how they treat people, especially their children, especially those closest to them. All right. So denial, distortion, and projection, and splitting. These are some of the narcissistic traits that can be very, very unhealthy. Denial, you confront somebody, you saw them or heard them do something, and they sit there and say, "You're the liar. I never said that. I never did that." You could have a voicemail of them saying it, and they'll sit there and deny it while you're playing the voicemail. That's a narcissist. You can have seen them in a room and take a picture of them, a physical room, and take a picture of them, I don't know, smacking their kid or whatever, and you say, "Look, I got visual proof." That's not what was happening there. They got in the way of my hand. It was an accident. They'll do anything to deny the truth. Anything. They hate being confronted. They're so allergic to blame, it's ridiculous. Distortion. They will just make up stuff, fabricate things, so that by the time people are done listening to them, the people aren't sure what the heck to believe because, well, it sounds legitimate. It sounds logical, like that could have happened that way. But because you know the person and you know what they're up to and what their traits are, That's not how it happened at all. And that's not what they meant at all. But they will swear to a lie, swear that they swear to a lie. Hey, welcome back, Creative Revival. All right. And then they'll turn and blame it on you. No, that's not how it happened. This is how it happened. And if you would just, mind your own business, stop the busybody, then it wouldn't matter what happened because it's not your concern anyways. And after all, look what you did. You do this and you do that and you lie all the time. And you're sitting there thinking, I've never told a darn lie in my life. Except maybe when I was a little kid. I don't lie, but you do all the time. So again, there's that. That's about you, not me. There's a narcissist. Okay. One very common narcissistic trait is called splitting. What this means is that you are all good or all bad. Borderlines do this too. Untreated borderlines especially. Oh, I adore her. She's my best friend. Don't talk bad about her or him or whoever. Don't talk bad about them because they were there for me when nobody else was. And they're just the best person and they're the most talented and they're the most wonderful, blah, blah, blah. But then, like in the next moment or the next couple days, all of a sudden, you'll hear from somebody, oh man, I heard how they were bashing you the other day. Did you hear what they said about you? What are you talking about? They love me. They adore me. Oh, that's not what they were telling Sally over here. They were telling her how you went into her house and you were just like making yourself at home, going through her refrigerator, taking her stuff. What? I never did that. Well, that's what they're saying. There you go. Splitting. You're all good. You're all bad. They will paint you as all good when it suits them and makes them look good. But as soon as they realize you might be getting more attention than what they want you to be getting, all of a sudden they will turn and paint you as the villain and start telling people all this bad stuff that you supposedly did. Or even if you did have like a falling out at one time, this is the time they will bring it up and say, well, I remember one time when she said or she did or whatever, and all of your things that you shared together, even secret things. You don't want to tell narcissists your secrets, by the way. Be careful who you get close to and how much you share till you really know that person and you know they're not going to go taking it from the ends of the earth all over the place and smearing you with it later on. And it's hard to know that sometimes. So if it's happened, don't beat yourself up. But be careful because narcissists are known to do that. You'll find your secrets, your deepest, darkest secrets coming out in public, like behind closed doors sometimes, and sometimes just out there for everybody to know, everybody to see. Narcissists are the ones that will take secret photos of you doing stuff without you knowing, and then all of a sudden you start seeing or hearing about photos coming up about you on Facebook. Things that were private times, maybe you didn't want the whole world to know. They will do that kind of stuff. Let's see. And they see like very black and white terms as all good or all bad. Now, there's times that happens that it's not narcissistic. There are some things, in my opinion, that are right and some things that are wrong. But I'm talking about a narcissist painting you in that light, where they tell everybody how wonderful you are and how proud they are of you and how they're so glad you're their friend, blah, blah, blah. And then they're telling everybody, don't trust her. Don't even get close to her. Oh my gosh, if you knew the stuff that she says stuff about you, as a matter of fact. You'll have to call me tonight. I'll fill you all in on it and I'll let you know. That's the kind of stuff they do behind the scenes, sometimes right to your face. Depends on the type of narcissist it is. Like I said, there's overt, there's covert. But they do it without shame. They do it without tact. They don't care. And when I tell people this and have told them over the years, get it through your head. A narcissist does not care about you. They cannot care about you. They are not wired in their brain or their heart to care for other people. They are wired to think of me, myself, and I, and mostly the fake me, myself, and I. That's the other thing about narcissism. You ask somebody, what's a narcissist? Oh, well, like Nicki Minaj, she's a narcissist. Miley Cyrus, she's a narcissist. Okay, they may be narcissistic. Are they malignant narcissists? Well, I don't know them up close and personal. I can't say that. But what I can say about narcissists is that a narcissist does not have the wiring to have empathy. They don't have a wiring to care about you. They don't have a wiring to understand that when your animal dies, they should say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Which is why I say I'm not a narcissist. Because when somebody came in here the other day and told me about their daughter's dog dying, the first thing I felt was, oh my gosh, that poor person. They must be so heartbroken. Because I remember when my dog got put to sleep. I remember when my kittens died and my cats died, how devastated I was. I had empathy. The narcissist, and this really happened to me, would look at you and say, what are you so upset about? You got other ones? You got other animals? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is such a big deal to you. What's the matter with you? Why would you grieve a pet anyway? It's just a dumb animal. That's a narcissist. That is an evil, wicked, unfeeling, non-empathic person. That is narcissistic. That is somebody you don't want for a best friend. Believe me, you don't. Because when a person dies, they're the same way. You didn't know them that well, or I didn't know them. Why would I care? Hi, Erica. And that's often what they'll say is, why should I go to their funeral? I didn't know those people. Why should I care? Well, because it's your friend's friend. I don't care. It wasn't my friend. Why should I be there? I'll never forget when somebody, a relative of mine, was sent a gift from somebody, and it didn't fit them, so they asked the person to get them a different size, and the person did. And when I was talking to the person, they were being very ungrateful, like, I can't believe they bought me this, ugly looking thing. Why would they get me this? And I'm like, why are you not thankful they gave you a gift? They didn't have to do that. They're like, I didn't ask them to. Okay, not the point. When somebody is nice to you and kind to you and buys you something, you're thankful. I'm not going to be thankful for them. I didn't tell them they had to send this to me. That's on them. Why should I thank them? Why should I? They got the wrong size, first of all. And who cares if they sent it back and got me another size? I didn't tell them they had to do that. I don't owe them any thanks. Hang on. My cat wants in. I'll be right back. Hang on, Meech. Misha. Come on, Meech. I don't know where your brother went. Meech. You're wet. Were you out in the water again? Is it wet out there? I don't think it rained. All right. Anyways. Yeah, when somebody gives you hand-me-down clothes and stuff. I've seen that too. Yeah, exactly, One Love. Over it, it's just a pet. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's talk about these. First of all, narcissism, antisocial personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, borderline, and all this stuff is all considered what's called a cluster B personality disorder. Hey, Rachel. So what is a cluster B personality disorder? Dramatic, overly emotional, unpredictable thinking or behavior and interactions with others. Now, one thing I don't agree with about the narcissism is that it's unpredictable. I think narcissists can be very predictable. In fact, a narcissist will tell on themselves if you listen very closely. They will tell you what the next thing they're about to do is. And I can't explain it, but you become very good at it if you have somebody that's close to you that is narcissistic. You learn what the next thing is that they're going to do or say, or what's going to happen next a lot of times. Some of them are unpredictable, and especially for little kids. They don't know whether they're going to get happy mommy, angry mommy, sad mommy, confused mommy, depressed mommy. They don't know. But for somebody in like a relationship with an older narcissist, or the two people are adults, then yeah, they're very unpredictable at times, or very predictable at times, where they will tell you, what's happening or whatever. Okay, or what's about to happen. Paranoia. Anybody that tells you that a narcissist is not paranoid is lying to you. In my opinion, every narcissist I've ever met was paranoid. They thought people were out to get them, so they had to get them first. They were very full of anxiety, a lot of fears, being very irrational, delusional. If something happened accidentally, the narcissist would act like it was something someone did intentionally to bring them down or to make them look bad. And it wasn't. It was just things happen in life, you know. But to a narcissist, oh no, they knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted to make me look bad. And honestly, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, that's not at all the case. It's just, like I said, life happens. Things happen. Things come up. Thank you, Jeanette. I know. I needed to get back to that. It's just that I run out of stuff to say about narcissists. Yeah, you can't question. How dare you question? Well, we talked about that earlier about, oh my gosh, the puppet speaks. You're a puppet. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to think for yourself. How dare you? No, 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 no. I tell you what to think. I tell you what to do and how to do it. You don't ask me. You don't question it. You don't wonder about it. You just do. You just do what I program you to do. You're a computer. You're a robot. You're a puppet. All right. So what's interesting is there is a very fine line between narcissism and psychosis, and psychopaths too. But usually psychopaths, narcissists' motive is to have narcissistic supply. People praising them, people being afraid of them, people admiring them. Psychopaths do things because they enjoy hurting people. They enjoy watching people be afraid. They enjoy watching people beg for their lives. This is a psychopath. A narcissist, no, they don't need any of that because they're going to just replace you anyway. So they don't want to keep you around long enough, or they don't think you will stay around long enough. They sense that you're not going to be there forever because nobody ever stays forever. In fact, they'll tell on themselves and tell you, well, you know, the last person, I didn't reject them. They rejected me. And that's always how it's been. People misunderstand me all the time. So if we split up, it's going to be you that leaves me, not me that leaves you, because I'm looking for this relationship, and that's other people that do that. So they paint themselves as the poor, misunderstood, jilted one, when really they're the ones that drive the whole ship to sink. Yeah, they're always grooming new sources of supply. Thank you, One Love. I'm glad you're in here. I was just saying I wish she was here because she could join right in here on this. And I would have gone StreamYard, but every time I do, I can't really fully delete people and hide them on the channel. And I'm getting really dead serious about just not having them in here. Other than if they're lurking, I can't do anything about it, really. So, yeah. So basically, I just want to be able to ditch people out of the room real quick and not have to deal with the baloney that goes on in here originally. Okay. Somebody that's lurking, that's a friend of mine, just told me she's enjoying the topic. Okay. So that's paranoia. It is a central symptom of psychosis. So yes, narcissists can be psychotic, indeed. All right, silent treatment. Let's get to that because people really, that's like my highest viewed video is silent treatment. Because I'm sure so many people have gone through silent treatment in their lives, either from a so-called parent or a friend or someone narcissistic. Okay, so punishment. Yeah, silent treatment is a punishment. It's as if you don't exist. If you've never received the silent treatment, it is so hard to explain to you. It is like the coldest, emptiest, loneliest, most frightening feeling you will probably ever feel from a narcissist. Because what happens is they will act as if you don't exist. Not that you're not in the room, but that you never were in the room, that you never were in the house, that you are not a human, you are not a person. You just do not exist, and that you never did. They are cold. They are unfeeling. They are unmoved by your discomfort. Hey, Nichelle. No, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you. They're unmoved by your pain. That's the biggest thing. And also, not only unmoved, if they do look over at you, either with that glare or that confused look, like kind of like a patronizing, like, oh my gosh, like, is this really getting to you? Or they'll look over at you and laugh at you and find it amusing how you're squirming while you watch them be kind to all the people around you and act like you do not exist and like you didn't even speak to them, that you're not even saying anything. The narcissist in my life had this kind of laugh where she'd go, ha ha, or ha ha, like it was a fake laugh. And then it was very unfeeling, just like mocking, like, ha ha, that really bothers you, girly? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Yeah, ha ha. Anyway, so they're unmoved by your pain and your struggle. They find it amusing. They find it great entertainment. And they'll do it more and more. The more you are irritated by it, the more they'll do it and the more they'll enjoy it. That's why the best remedy for a narcissist is to get the heck away from them if you possibly can. Because you will not ever truly, fully heal, in my opinion, if you stay with a narcissist. You may learn ways to cope. You will. But you will never realize your full potential because you can't around them. You just can't. They suck you dry. They will drain you. They're just really evil creatures. Very evil. Okay. Yes, they live for the reaction. That's narcissistic supply for them. That's why. We talked about projection. There's some other tactics that also cult leaders will use. Not projection. We did that. Bait and switch, where they will tell you to do something and then they will do everything they can to make it impossible for you to do it. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of the stepmother in the story Cinderella. Oh, of course you can go to the ball. No problem. Yes, you can go with your sisters. And then the day of the ball comes and Cinderella doesn't have anything but rags to wear. And she comes, yeah, it's a punishment from the parent to the child, the husband to the wife to the husband, the friend to the friend. Also said loosely, friend to the friend. And parent is said loosely as well. And basically, hey, Hazel. So the bait and switch is, yeah, like their mask is off. They will tell you, oh, yeah, you can go to the ball, you can go to the party, you can go to the dinner, and then you'll get ready to go out the door. Wait a minute. What are you doing? Going to the dinner. You said I could. You can't go dressed in that. But Mom, that's all I have. I'm sorry. I guess you won't be going. But you said, nope, sorry, you can't go like that. My family did that a lot. My stepdad did that a lot to me with clothing and stuff like that. You can't come to dinner with us in that outfit. And unless you go and change it, you're not coming. And it wasn't an indecent outfit. It was just an outfit that I chose. And I wasn't allowed to pick my own clothes, even as a teenager. Because I would make them look bad, in their opinion. You know, the family. More my father than anybody else, my stepfather. So I couldn't go. In the story of Cinderella, she had a ball gown made by the mice. And the sisters, stepsisters, and the stepmother tore it apart. They said, oh, what a shame. You won't be able to go to the ball because you don't have anything to wear. That's a double bind, not a bait and switch. I'm sorry. Double bind. So they tell you to do something, they make it impossible for you to be able to do it. Bait and switch is kind of like promising you something, and then when you're almost about to have what it is that you want, they yank it away. Cults do this a lot. They'll promise you a position in the cult or a church group or whatever. And when the time comes, there's all kinds of things that got in the way. You can't do that because, well, so-and-so is more qualified, so we put them in the position. That happened to me in a church. They put my daughter in the position to play the keyboard instead of me. You can imagine that created some jealousy and envy in our family, and it was not pretty for a long time. Hey, Save Robbie, how are you doing? I haven't heard back from Jamie about singing that Phantom of the Opera song with me. Have you talked to Jamie? Because I thought she was going to email me and let me know if she was going to learn it so we could sing it together, and I don't know how to get a hold of her other than email, and yeah, so I didn't know if you had talked to her. All right. Do they or can they feel regret? Rarely. Rarely. Touch on how a covert narcissist takes things over. It eats away at self-esteem, and they claim that they were helping. Well, that's part of the devaluing process, honestly, when they take over. Thank you, say Robbie. The reason they take over is so that they can get the accolades, and so that you cannot feel that self-worth of having accomplished something. And then they can go and brag to all their friends. Oh, I taught her everything she knows. Oh, I taught her that. Oh, I did that. I did it. She didn't. He didn't. That kind of thing. So, yeah. And I was just trying to do it for their own good because they don't know how to do that. That kind of thing. Yeah, devaluing. Exactly. Devaluing and patronizing is the other thing they do. Oh, honey, you don't want to do that. You're just not strong enough to climb that tree. Don't do that because you might get hurt. Don't make that decision because that's not good for you. You know you don't like that. And you're like, no, it's you that's saying I don't like that. I like that. But you're not allowed to like or dislike unless the narcissist says that's what you like or dislike. A really good description of this would be Gypsy Rose. If you follow that true crime story, her mother decided for her what she wanted and when she was sick and when she was well, and how she was going to get around and what she was going to do and who was allowed over. That's a narcissist for you. All right. Power posturing is another thing that cults use a lot, but also narcissists will use it within families. Who gets to go with daddy to, say, the store or whatever, some special store. And they will choose the golden child every time. And they will do everything they can to make the golden child feel like they're missing out on things. Power posturing is a cruel way to hold something over the scapegoat's head, make them feel like they're less than because they can't have that thing that the other kid gets, the other child. There's golden children, there's problem children, there's scapegoats. The problem child is not truly the problem. The problem is the narcissist that labels the child. But people see the child as, oh, well, that child is just giving her such a hard time. And the narcissist will paint it that way. Oh, they've always been my problem child. They're the black sheep of the family. They're the one we always have the trouble with. They always embarrass me in public. You're so humiliating. I can't believe I brought you with me. You're making me look so bad to these people. That's how the narcissist talks about their own child. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the narcissists themselves. Okay, we talked about narcissist and relationship. Let's talk about the narcissist as a person. First of all, narcissists tend to be very charming. If they weren't, we codependents and empaths would not be wooed by them because we see through things and we absorb energies and we observe energies, and we would run the other way if they were like mean. We don't want to have mean friends or mean people in our life. So they put on this charm. They're just delightful to be around. They're funny. They're the life of the party. They're so sweet and kind. We never met anybody like them. Keep in mind, this is a role that they play. when they're trying to get you as their supply source and they go out in public, they are pretending to be this charming, delightful person who just wants to have a relationship. They just want somebody to believe in them and not misunderstand them. They want someone that they can trust and that will trust them, a give and take relationship. And they will give the appearance that they are so innocent and everybody else just doesn't get them. Behind closed doors though, you're going to wonder where that person went, what the heck just happened. What happened to you where you out there you were acting like you needed me so bad and we were going to be this great couple, but behind closed doors all you do is scream and yell at me and tell me how I fall so short of what you're looking for and how worthless I am and how useless I am. And the cycle just keeps on going. They go outdoors and they're one way. They come in behind closed doors and they're a total other way. People don't see past the charm, so that when you go to them, and no, they do not mean well, 9 angels. No, there is no meaning well deep down, because the core of who they were as children was destroyed. And in its place is somebody that is very vindictive, bitter, angry, slighted, and they want to become the angry, punishing parent and turn you into the innocent child. So they'll gang up on you. They don't have pure hearts. Narcissists do not have pure hearts, nor do they have pure motives at all. And if you get up close and personal, what? If you get up close and personal enough with them, you'll find that out the hard way. They just don't. Okay, they are they want to get intimate very quickly. Let's just say that. And they're into some really weird, intimate stuff, which is why when they started saying things about the pornography and stuff with Chris Watts, I knew I was dealing, well, I wasn't dealing, thank God. They were talking about a narcissist, possibly a psychopath. I don't know. Like I said, that whole family was messed up. But with him and the weird, crazy stuff he was into, that's definitely a sign that somebody has some narcissism going on. The whole muscle man stuff, that's a somatic narcissist. They want to be seen and imaged as a certain type of muscle man, superpower. For women, it's like the queen, the princess, the diva, that kind of thing. And they want intimacy to happen very quickly so they can bond very tightly to their victim. Yep, all about their survival. They don't have a sense of self. And that's the thing. To a narcissist, when you confront them, even if they did what you're saying that in confronting them about, that is like a terror to them. They are terrified of being confronted because then, oh my gosh, then I'll have to admit that I'm not this great person that I want everybody to think I am. And that means I don't know who I am, because they forgot who they were years ago when that part of them was destroyed. They don't remember that innocent little child, that child that was sweet and liked to pick flowers and try to pet the little robins on the lawn, not realizing that robins fly away because they were an innocent child. The little child that sat in blue bubbles and went and chased the bubbles around before mommy said, "Stop that, you're embarrassing me. People are watching you." And that child learned that it wasn't okay to be a child. And that adult, as they grew from that child, learned that they were not okay the way they were. So they began putting on this mask and this false self so that everybody would adore them. Everybody would think they were wonderful. But yet, deep down inside, they weren't wonderful because they stopped being wonderful when they were taught that it wasn't okay and it wasn't safe to be who they were. Let's see. Oh, and they're not committed to the intimate part of the relationship either. They're going to want to be with other people. It's very rare, in my opinion, for a narcissist to be faithful within an intimate relationship, which is a big, huge reason I keep telling everybody, do not do that with a narcissist. Do not get yourself attached with the oxytocin, the dopamine, the hormones. Don't do it, because then you stop looking at them objectively. You start making excuses for their poor behavior and their mistreatment of you. You get that stuff involved, and you're just all starry-eyed and, oh, wow, he makes me feel so good, or she just touches me exactly right, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's such a good kisser. And you overlook all the fact that he just insulted you in front of your friend. He just stopped you from going over to your mom's house, and he was saying bad things about your mom. You know, you overlook all that stuff because he's so good, though. Look, he brought me flowers. He did this. He did that. And yeah, you overlook all that stuff because he makes you feel so good. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. All right. Center of attention. A narcissist always has to have all eyes on them. Every chance they get, every type of situation where they're in public, they will turn the conversation onto themselves. They don't like going to people's birthday parties or dinner parties that honor other people because it all has to be about them. And they will make it all about them. They will be rude. They will be tactless. They will be cruel in what they say to people, even your friends, to the point where everybody's thinking, oh my gosh, are they like for real? Did they really just say that? Did they really just do that? Yes, they did. If they don't get what they want, they will throw a temper tantrum like a little child. They will be mean to everybody around them and act like it's all their fault. If you get attention from others, they hate when you get attention. They can't deal with that. Only they are allowed to have the attention. How dare you take that off of them? All right. They will seem like very good listeners at first, but what they're really doing is gaining information about you that they will use later, either in a chat session, a live stream, an email, across social media, on Facebook, or just running around to your friends and saying stuff you said. And they'll twist it every which way, so it won't even look anything like what you told them to begin with most of the time, and they'll throw a few lies and embellishments in there, but it'll sound really convincing because remember, a narcissist is an actor, and they have honed their skill. They are really, really good at what they do. They have had plenty of practice with other people before you, and will have practice with people after you, because they live their whole entire lives doing this. Yes, I do, Nine Angels. Live alone without the stress. Unless you find a healthy other to hook up with. Yeah, they want to learn the buttons to push. Oh, yeah, we haven't even gotten to the devaluation stage yet, I don't think. Not fully. All right, so at first you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, this person just really cares about what I have to say. They're like so into it, and they listen for, hours and hours to me, and they never interrupt. That's because they're storing it all. One thing I know about narcissists is it is amazing the memory these people have. Every narcissist I have met has this ability. I don't even know how they do it. I don't know if they write it down when you leave or what. But yeah, they're taking mental notes of everything you're saying, everything you're doing, your reactions, your responses. So let's just say you're grossed out by somebody stepping on a grasshopper or something like that. I'm just saying that because my husband and I were talking about crickets and stuff today. And you're just like, oh my gosh, that's like so cruel. Those little creatures have feelings. When they devalue you, they'll purposely get a bunch of grasshoppers and stomp on them in front of you. That's how they are. Absolutely callous, tactless, insensitive, rude, nasty people. And they do exist. It's the truth. They do. A lot of the people that have narcissistic traits are psychopaths. A lot of them are criminals. You can imagine, because they can kill without a second thought. They can harm animals. They can harm insects. They can do stuff just to watch your reaction. And it's delightful for them. They love it. Okay. Oh, The thing also about why they listen to you, they also are building what they call a script so that they know not only what to act like around you, but in my case, the narcissist knew that I did impressions of people, like impersonations. And my former best friend and I were super close for like 3.5 years. And I could impersonate her like really, really well. And my ex-mentor, the narcissist, would be like, what did she say? Show me that again. How did she do that? Wait, girl, I got to see this again. And what I didn't know was she was listening very carefully and watching me, imitating my friend because she knew she was going to ditch me and hook up with my friend. She wanted to learn how my friend would respond to certain things, so she knew that when she was with her, not to do those things. That way, when I questioned my friend later and said, did she ever act like this around you? She'd say, no, I've never seen that. She was like really decent and polite to me. That's how she learned from me, which I didn't know at the time, to not do certain things around my friend because it would gross her out, because it would upset her. And if she wanted to love bomb her, she couldn't turn her off first, you know. She wouldn't want to do something that would repel her or appall her. So she learned from watching my impersonations and impressions of this person what not to do, how not to handle the situation when she later found herself with her instead of me. And so our stories never lined up completely because she learned, oh, well, if I hook up with this person, I can't do with her what I did with you. So, yeah, and they don't tell you that. They just kind of pick at you to learn. They drain you and drill you for finding out what to do and what not to do. All right. In the same sense, when they're doing that to you, they want to know what makes you tick. They want to know what's going to be upsetting to you, what's going to please you, so they know which gifts to give you, what things to say, how to say them, how not to say them. They're very, very cunning and very crafty creatures. All right. Don't expect a true apology from a narcissist ever. They don't apologize. They'll say, like they won't say I'm sorry. Usually they'll say I apologize if you think that that was meant to hurt you. If you think that was meant to hurt you. I apologize if you didn't trust me or you didn't feel that you could trust me. It's never I'm so sorry that I said that you were a fat pig. I'm so sorry that I hurt your feelings. I'm so sorry that I degraded you in front of your dad. I'm so sorry I bad-mouthed your mom to you. Never. It's always, okay, I apologize. And it's like you can tell it's not sincere because they can't give you a sincere apology because they're full of baloney. They really are. In their mind, they haven't done anything wrong. Because, excuse me, it's always your fault. It's always everybody else's fault. Yeah, I was late to work because I lost my alarm clock. I couldn't do my homework because I didn't write down the right assignment. Or my sister needed my help. Or whatever. It's always everybody else. Everything else is the reason why they did something wrong or didn't show up for something on time. It's never, yeah, I forgot to set my alarm. No, I didn't do the homework because I didn't understand it and I couldn't get a hold of my friend. So I just blew it off and didn't do it. Never. It's always somebody else's fault. Always. And they had nothing to do with it. You know, it was always them, always the other person. All right. In what ways do people suffer in life after the narcissist is gone? Or better yet, how do you recover effectively? Well, those are excellent questions, Nine Angels. What ways do people suffer in life after the narcissist is gone? Well, if they were raised by one, they never developed a sense of individuation where they can be their own person. They don't know how to make decisions because the narcissist always told them what to wear, what they liked to eat, Well, we talked about that earlier, Nine Angels. I don't think you heard it. There is evidence now that it is genetic, but yes, there are some character traits that are developed as defense mechanisms. I will be right back. I need to use the powder room. I shall return. Intermission.
What? Me too. What? It's almost 10. What? What do you mean turn it off? Why was it ungrip it? I can't be your babysitter all the time, honey. Let's tell them about that one time I had that wife that was an artist. My other wife, not you, honey. We're allowed to have 2 wives at a time in America, honey. Hey, baby G, what's up? Bye, like your cat. What's the sleeping thing again? I'm getting really tired too, dude. It's only 10 o'clock. Can you give me a minute? I got something more important right now to do than talk to your YouTube. And that is feed my face. They would agree, honey.
Hi, people. How are you?
I have a bellyache. Sorry, guys. Oh, good. Thank you, honey. Did you hide them or just delete it?
Hit them.
Okay.
Only I can talk about Mommy Mars that way.
All right, where were we?
I thought you were undisclosed.
Yeah, I got redisposed.
Redisposed?
I don't know.
Redisposed?
You know what I mean.
What does redisposed mean?
I don't know what it means, honey.
You're the one that told me to come here and entertain these people.
I know.
And then as soon as I get over here, you rush out of the
I didn't rush out.
powder room before you were done powdering just to stop me from powdering these people with my intelligence.
You can powder them with your intelligence if you want. But I do want to finish my notes that I worked so hard on writing, honey.
Your notes look very good. Where are we at, honey?
Right in front of your face.
Besides, it was your fault.
What
That was
I
to you,
doing?
One Love. It's your fault, One Love.
Yeah, I think we're right on this one plays victim.
You want me just to read it?
Kind of. I want you to kind of, what do you call it?
You just go finish your powdering. I'll entertain them for a couple minutes, okay, honey? You're one of them, Bacon Lover. I don't like this chair, dude. No, today is I will always have Tuesdays off. I don't work ever on Tuesdays. I picked Tuesdays because that's when I can have my appointments and stuff. So I could have one day a week. I go back tomorrow and I work 5 days in a row. Yep, Tuesday is my Sunday. Because on the weekends I work 19 to 20 hours between the two. I like it. I don't like that I'm working 5 days in a row, but hey.
So weird.
I have Monday and Tuesday off next week.
You're just going to be my intermission chat person.
Yeah, honey, go redispose yourself.
You're not going to talk to him about what the notes say.
Honey, you're making a mess. Go redispose yourself. Well, don't put it back where you found it. Put it on the bottom or in a drawer, even better. Hey, Creative Revival. Do I know Creative Revival?
You do. She's kind of new, but they've been in here before. They're cool. They're not the
Oh, I'm gonna be going to bed early. She won't be, but I will be.
I hope.
No, I remember seeing you places, Creative. That's just why I was asking. I didn't think you were anybody bad. It's probably
We pretty much know the bad ones.
it's probably Love Butt. I mean, One Love. Sorry, One Love's channel that I've seen you
You
on.
don't love what?
That's cool. You're gonna lose all your people now, honey. You need to go hurry and redispose yourself or powder your face or whatever, so you can get back. Do you feel better now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so explain something to me, Tubby.
What?
How am I supposed to get out of here if you're
I'm in
right
your
there?
way.
Yeah.
Why you call me Tubby? That's not very nice.
You got.
You're gonna give Shimmer Soul more material.
Shut the fridge. The front door is shut. Shut the fridge. You're the one that opened it and made a mess. How did I make a mess? I was in the powder room powdering. Are you just gonna leave that there?
What?
Will it attract bugs?
No, it won't. It's chia. I don't like chia.
Okay. There's not gonna be a part 2 because she's finishing now. Why are you running, Nine Angels? Am I really that ugly? No, I'm comfortable. These are my people too, honey. You need to stop hogging everybody to yourself. I'm tired of your double binds and your gaslighting and your everything else. Alright, I'm being shooed away after I was told to come. Oh, Nine Angels, I got a whole list of things I say besides cussing. Like peacock. Peacock's my new favorite cuss word. You had like a fingernail or something on you, dude. What were you doing outside? Was that something else you flicked and missed?
You need to just go. Go while you are ahead, honey. Goodbye. All right, y'all.
Powder room.
All right, go to the powder room.
Maybe I'll flick a few things.
I'm gonna flick you. Okay. All right. What? Why'd I unhide? I didn't want to unhide you. There we go. Okay. All right, back we go. I really don't want to deal with your flip-floppy, love you, hate you, despise you, smear you garbage. So don't come in my room. I told you to stay away from me. Stop calling me. Stop texting me. Just go. Go away. Go enjoy your life. Whatever you do. Quit hurting people because it's going to come back and bite you on the butt one of these days. You will reap what you sow, as everybody does. But you and your flying monkeys can stay out of my room. I'm not going to take you back in only to get stabbed in the head again. I'm done with you. All right. I already left you the video message. Just like you leave me video messages, I left you one too. And I'm not changing my mind this time. Yeah, just go away. You showed what kind of character you have, and I don't associate with people that treat people that way. All right, and I've left you in God's hands, so whatever happens in your situations is in his hands. All right, so narcissists paint themselves as the victims or innocent every time. They get pity this way. People feel sorry for them. And before long, the person is then being dragged through the coals like the last person was. And in fact, I found out some people that the narcissist in my past had been treated the way I was and had come to me and said, oh my gosh, I now know why you stopped associating with this person, why you blocked them from your life, why you changed your phone number, why you cut them off cold. Because now they've done the same thing to me. And that's usually what happens with narcissism and narcissists, is that Yeah, I'm proud of you too, honey, for standing behind me. Thank you. Is that they leave a lot of broken hearts in their path. They just don't have the capacity to maintain healthy relationships, friendships, marriages, whatever. They don't. And the former narcissist in my life ended up getting remarried. So, but she's happily remarried from what I know. I don't really know. I haven't kept in touch with her because by her own choice, she cut me off cold. So I said, okay, maybe I'm better off not having that relationship in my life then. Sometimes you are. But yeah, sometimes it takes them a while. And the hardest thing is when you see somebody hooking up with your narcissistic ex-friend, you want to go shout it from the highest rooftop to warn them. This person, what? Like for what? Cheese? Huh? Cheese? Yeah. I'm always hungry for cheese. I love cheese. You want to shout it from the highest rooftop and warn the person that this person is toxic and you don't want to hook up with them and they're going to hurt you. They're going to wound you eventually, even though you're in the honeymoon phase or they're in the honeymoon phase initially. You know how it ends and you want to protect them. But the fact is, the narcissist in the honeymoon phase is only showing the positive side of their character. So the person isn't going to believe you. They're going to be like, what? What are you talking about? They gave me all these gifts. They took me to this party. They introduced me to their parents. You know, I don't know why you're saying that. You just are jealous. That's what it is. You wish it was you and not me. So you're trying to split us up and divide us. Well, it's not going to happen because you're old news and I am the new thing. And this person likes me and they don't like you. So just deal with it. They've moved on. They have a new friend now. You're just jealous. You're just trying to cause problems. That's how they react. So when people come to me, when I was a life coach and stuff, and said, do you think I should warn them about how my ex-husband is? I said, well, you can, but it's probably not going to work. They're just going to get mad at you and tell you that you're just making up stuff to divide them. So pray for them if you want from a distance. You know, be there in case, you know, once the fallout happens and the devaluing starts and they come to you and say, man, is this what you went through? You can tell them, yeah, I would have told you, but you wouldn't have listened. And they'll probably tell you, no, you're right. I probably wouldn't have because I was only seeing all the good stuff that they were showing me. No, it's only because of what it's connected to, Michelle. I'm trying to let go of that total situation. Just call me D. That's fine too. Shorter too. All right. Sorry, I'm eating some cheese. So, one of the things that narcissists are very good at is playing the victim, when actually what they're doing is abusing people, confusing people, smearing people, torturing people psychologically in the background. One minute they're your friend, the next minute they're your enemy. They'll tell you they love you for a while, and then you'll find out that they're actually very hateful towards you to other people and trying to turn other people against you. When you tell them the truth and when you confront them with the truth, they'll act like animals caught in a trap and try to attack you in some way because they don't like that. They don't want to be told that what you're doing is wrong, and we know what you're up to. We know what you're doing behind the scenes. Everybody's got your number, and nobody wants anything to do with you who has any sense of self-worth, and they hate that because that means you have seen underneath the mask and you know who they really are, and that makes them very uneasy and very uncomfortable because guess what? Here we go again. Exactly, one love. Parentification. A lot of times with narcissists, you see children taking care of the parents. Narcissists often turn the children into what's called a surrogate parent. My ex-husband turned one of my daughters into the surrogate wife and told me I was supposed to submit and obey her. I was supposed to submit to and obey my daughter. Whatever she tells you to do, you do. And I was trapped in a really abusive, confusing marriage Oh, okay, Michelle, that's fine. Take care. A really confusing abusive marriage where my children were turned against me for a long time, and I was seen as the crazy one. Yeah, I'm a little goofy. We all know that. I like to have fun and I cut up and stuff like that, but I'm not crazy. I'm very intelligent and very educated. So, but he painted me in such a way to the kids and to other people that I was nuts. And he used to say, that's why you're the one going to therapy. No, I was the one going to therapy because I cared about my mental health. And I wanted to come away from that situation halfway sane, you know? But anyway, the child ends up growing up with responsibilities of being the narcissist wife or husband, usually wife. I think it's usually the guys that do the surrogate spouse thing. It might be the women. I don't know. But the child grows up thinking that they have to actually be like that person's spouse. And I'm not talking about the physical stuff like the intimacy or whatever. Although sometimes it's not uncommon for narcissists to harm children in that way. There's no doubt about that. But they definitely, the children definitely don't get to be children. That's for sure. Narcissists create false roles on themselves and on other people. And they want people to believe that there's something in someone that they're not. It doesn't occur to them that this is wrong and fake and phony to do that. Often they have double lives. They will have wives in other states or husbands in other states and children in other states or countries even. When a victim finds out that a narcissist has been lying to them and has other alternate situations going on, other children, other careers, they end up in shock and they end up feeling very traumatized. I mean, it's very shocking to actually hear and realize that this person was all the way out in Timbuktu with little Lulu having children and paying for their children's, high school education while your children are suffering, not having the bills paid, not having a dad there for their school occasions and whatever. And dad's clear across the country and mom's like, oh, he's on a business trip and he's actually with his other wife or he's with his other girlfriend or whatever. Narcissists always tend to keep people on the side or up on the shelf, as I say, to pull down when they want to use them. And they are users. They're very much users. They have a sense of entitlement, and they feel that when the victim acts surprised by this, enlightenment that, well, you've been out in Timbuktu with Lulu having children and buying them all this stuff while your kids are here suffering, the narcissist will blame the victim for snooping in their stuff, finding out what they were up to. You don't trust me. Why were you in my computer? That kind of thing. Stay away from my girlfriend. Don't tell her anything. Don't say anything to her. Yeah, the gaslighting will start up. No, you're reading more into this. It's not like that. That kind of thing. They play head games and they will smear your reputation and they will use other people to tear you down, break you down, crazy making, yes. By the way, what we were talking about earlier about narcissists not being able to let go of their children and letting them grow up or make decisions, maybe to live with another parent, maybe to go to a relative because they don't like being around the mother or the father, and basically trying to brainwash them to believe that it's not their right to choose what to do. Even the courts recognize a child's right to divorce a parent, to not be with an abusive parent. And it's called infantilization. It's called keeping your child like a little infant, like a child, a baby that you can just keep on nursing and nurturing and take under your wing and tell what to do and boss around and make decisions for. It's infantilization, never allowing that child to individuate and be the independent young person that they are, or maybe young adult that they are. They're very stunted in their emotional growth a lot of times, and they're very confused. And it's really sad to see a child that's in this situation. They're much better off if they have a narcissist as a egg donor or sperm donor to get away from them and be able to live a healthy, balanced life away from that dysfunctional system of this person that has to find their worth in this child. Okay. Let's talk about narcissistic, hang on. Let's talk about triangulation in a family, okay? So in a family, triangulation divides the children. The narcissistic parent will use one child as the mediator, go-between, messenger boy or girl, to go back and tell the other children whatever the narcissist wants them to believe. And they insist that this other child do their bidding in this way. And the child feels very put upon and assaulted by the parent emotionally, that if they don't do this, they're not going to be loved. And indeed, sometimes the narcissistic egg donor, sperm donor will use the child and say, if you won't do this, you're not going to Debbie's house. If you don't do this and you don't tell them what I said, you're not going out to play, or you're not going to the dance, or you can't have the car keys, or whatever it is. And they will withhold affection from them and attention from them and rewards from them in exchange for them doing the bidding. There's a story called A Child Called It, where the mother, egg donor, crazy darn psychotic woman, used the one child to go and interrogate and beat on physically the scapegoat child. They would throw stuff at him. They would throw him down the stairs, kick him, spit on him, mock him, call him boy instead, and then eventually call him it. It's a deplorable situation, absolutely deplorable. I mean, as are all abuse situations. I've read the whole series and the teenage one too. And the brother also apparently was abused after the guy left. But the brother denies it and says the guy made everything up, which is very common in triangulated families. Because if the egg donor or sperm donor narcissist gets a hold of the one child, they can plant little seeds in him and say, well, you know, he's just making this stuff up. That's not really how that happened. He's exaggerating. They're just doing it to get money and attention and create seeds of doubt. Like you said, gaslighting. All right. People ask what narcissistic supply is. It's a term used to designate how a narcissist gets their attention, approval, adoration, admiration, notoriety. They'll even use like you being afraid of them or intimidated by them as narcissistic supply, as long as the attention is going on them. And it's very easy, unfortunately, to do this with little children, because to them, mommy or daddy are just that, mommy or daddy. So if mommy says something, then that must be the way it is. And since daddy's not stepping in and refuting it, then this has to be the truth, and this is the way it is. And a child doesn't know any better. Mommy and daddy are almost like God to them. That's all the God they know and understand. So they believe whatever is told to them, basically. So they're easily manipulated and mistreated. Okay. They said one of these examples is like gaslighting the child, insisting that the sky is green until the child believes it. It's one of the most insidious forms of emotional and psychological torment that you can do to a child, is make them question what is reality and what isn't. I told you about withholding. A lot of times when you go to an abusive narcissistic partner, they'll say, I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me about it. It never happened that way. You don't get it right. you're exaggerating, you're lying, you're making this up, it never happened, you're a liar. Yeah. That's why when somebody calls me a liar about something I know was the truth, especially if I have witnesses, I will call their butt on it every time and say, no, you are lying. You are self-deceived. You are trying to paint a picture that is not the truth. I told the truth. You did not. Sometimes I have proof of what the truth is. Maybe you've recorded them. Maybe you filmed them. Maybe you have pictures. That's why they say if you are with a narcissist, spouse or otherwise, get as much on record as you can. Take notes. Because the narcissist is very, very cunning and manipulative. They know what was said when. They know what you spent money on. They know where you went, when you went there. And because they mess with your mind, it's very easy to become forgetful and you start questioning your own sanity. So if you start journaling, you start writing things down, then you know that it's not made up. You know that that's how it happened because you got visual proof. And they can whistle Dixie all they want and make up a bunch of BS. And you know, hey, chick or dude, that's not what happened. You're making that up. It's not the truth. I just got junk all over my entire front of my shirt. That's gross. You're funny. All right. So anyway, it leaves the victim very confused, questioning themselves, blaming themselves, wondering, well, gee, maybe that is how it happened. Maybe they're right. Maybe I made that up. Maybe it's exaggerated. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe the time period was different. Maybe they were just having a bad day. And you start making excuses for the narcissist instead of sticking objectively to what you know to be the case. All right. I'm reading something, just a second. All right. Narcissistic rage happens when a narcissist is confronted. Any type of thing they perceive as an insult or something questioning them or making them look bad to other people, especially their new supply sources or their flying monkeys, they will go into a rage and they will start insulting you. They will accuse you of lying. They will possibly even become aggressive physically if you're in their presence. That has happened. In my case, thankfully, the mentor back then, the narcissistic mentor, did not physically harm me. But when my ex-best friend, the one she hooked up with, when her daughter went there, she became so enraged because the daughter refused to sing for her so that she could make her this record contract, and the daughter didn't feel like singing, that she threw a plate across the room at her, like flung it like a frisbee. Yeah, so they will. They can become that enraged at you. And yes, they'll freak out on you privately, not publicly. Although they will glare at you publicly. With a narcissist, all they need to do is give you a look, head thing, and you will cower in their pathway. Is it PTSD if you've written everything that's happened, but you can't go back to read it? And if you do, you go back to it. Yes. Yes, that is a trigger, and that is post-traumatic stress symptoms. When you can't read what happened to you, that is where EMDR is extremely helpful. If you're having PTSD, please find an EMDR specialist and go through it. It's helping Matthew so much. Yeah, exactly, One Love. A glare at you and then a smile out the other side of their face at others who may be present. A sense of entitlement, we would be amiss if we didn't cover that as well. They feel like they deserve all the accolades, all the trust. They deserve people to come towards them and, be their friend and support them, sing their praises, and they will take whatever they want, step on you to get it, and not care how it hurts you. This says that entitlement is caused by deep rage, which fuels the sense that they have a right to do and say and whatever they want to do and say. Because basically, You hurt them, so they're going to get you. And the revenge is where that comes in. Yeah, EMDR will help you immensely, Mommy Mar. Seriously. Yeah, it will create a revival because it brings all that stuff to the surface and it's very painful. I know. That's where EMDR helps a lot. It takes that sting out of the painful memories. Definitely do. Let's see. A know-it-all. Yeah, obviously. Fake emotions. That's another thing we got to talk about. They can't feel real emotion. So they will imitate people's emotions in any given situation. They can turn on the charm. They can turn on the tears. They can turn on the anger. They can manipulate you to the point where they gained your trust again, only to stab you again. There's always a reason why they will turn on this manipulation, because they want to control you. They want to get you to do what they want you to do. Maybe they don't have other people that are believing in them because they're such liars. So now they need you back. And they know that at one point you were their best friend. You were their biggest supporter. So now they have to have you back because it's too draining to try to retrain their supply sources and to get to know them, know how they tick, know what they can get away with them, know how much the person will buy their BS before they call them out on it. That all takes time, and the narcissist knows that that's draining, and so they'd rather go back to a familiar supply source than hone a brand new one. So since you were ready-made for them, and they know that you hang on their every word, and you're waiting for their phone call, and every time they say hi, you just feel all giddy inside that they're talking to you again, you're just easy target. They're just going to go right back to what they had before because they know it's easy and they know that you'll give in. All right, which is why you need to get the help for you, especially if they've discarded you. Go and take care of yourself. Practice healthy self-care and don't let them come back. Okay, excuse me. It is getting late. All right, so it's all about control. And if you keep on taking them back, all they're doing is building up their tool chest. They're going to keep on reeling you in and destroying you over and over and over again and laughing and mocking all the way while they do it. They enjoy every minute of it. It's great fun and sport for them. Well, guess what? I'm not going to be a scapegoat to be anybody's sport anymore either. So I learned that a long time ago. But even since then, don't beat yourself up if you got sucked back in and hoovered by a narcissist. It happens. And a lot of times you think you're dealing with something and it turns out to be narcissism instead. So, just move on. It's okay. Cut them off cold. Realize you learned a lesson and love yourself anyways and keep on going. They demand trust that they don't earn. And if they abuse you, they still expect you to trust them and let them back in and act like it never happened. It never happened. It was in the past. Come on, we don't want to go there. We don't want to talk about bygones. Let bygones be bygones. That's one of their favorite phrases. We're not revisiting the past. And yet, they may not want to revisit it, but it very much is alive in you because it did the damage in you. And you can't just ignore the fact that it devastated you. Maybe it's you to lose a job or lose a loved one or lose a pet or whatever. You can't just let that go, but they can act as if it never existed. And in fact, I had a narcissist, the mentor, say to me, because we had a bad situation in a cabin where I visited her and it was a big disaster. And I wanted to visit her at her house. And she said, "That's fine, girlie. I could just make it as if the cabin thing never happened." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You can't erase time." She goes, "Oh, no, you don't understand. I can. It'll be as if I never met you yet and it never happened and none of that stuff was ever so." And she sounded very convincing that she could literally like wave a wand or something and make it all go away. And I was like, okay, one flew over the cuckoo's nest. So obviously that didn't happen. Yeah, they're very puzzling, bewildering. It's crazy. So yeah, but they believe they can just make it all go away as if it never happened. Yeah, when you say it out loud, and that's the thing, they want to keep you from saying it. They don't want to hear it because then they have to face that it really did happen and it was reality. They don't know how to handle reality in which they were the bad guy. Because remember, they're trying to paint this false image of themselves. All right. So anyway, they don't feel like they need to earn your trust. They just feel it's owed to them because they're entitled. All right. They are thieves. They steal everything. They will steal your money. They'll steal their children's toys. They will take things that aren't theirs, go into people's houses and just help themselves. They'll go in the refrigerators and take food out of the refrigerator. They present themselves as very loving, but they are just rude and entitled and abusive and thieves. They think the world owes them everything, and they have no guilt from it either. They think it's coming to them, it's owed to them. No, they never validate somebody else's feelings. Their way or the highway. And how dare you try to take another way because, you're their puppet and you're supposed to do what they say. Yeah, exactly, like ferrets. Exactly. Okay, they are pathological chronic liars. Liars. They are dishonest. They're clever. They're cunning. They're very good at creating lies, believable lies. They're so deceptive that the new people that don't know them will buy their lies. And the word they use is unscrupulous. They don't care. They can lie to your face and not think twice about it. It doesn't matter that they're caught in the lie because, after all, I had to lie to get out of it. I had to lie because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. That wasn't a lie. You're just thinking that because you don't understand. Anything to get out of accepting and admitting that they're wrong. They are allergic to blame and shame, like I told you. Okay, they will attack you at the heart, especially where you are not secure. And they know this because they've listened to you. They've watched you react to other people. They've heard your endless stories about the last people that hurt you because they've asked just the right questions to find out who you are, what you're about, and what really wounds you and hurts you. And in the end, they'll tell everybody you were crazy, that you abused them, that you neglected them, and they'll lie about lying. No, I didn't lie. I don't lie. You're the one that's the liar. Somebody says, how do you know if a narcissist is lying if their lips are moving? Yeah. They used to say that about some of the students I took care of because they were pathological liars, a lot of them, which made it hard for me to deal with them at times because I didn't know when they were being truthful or not because they could look you right in the eye and lie to you. They will basically minimize what they're able to do so they don't have to do it. They'll act like they're sick or wounded to get you to do whatever it is they don't feel like doing, which is a form of manipulation. Also to get you to not expect things from them. If they're sick, you're not going to expect them to get up and go to work. If they broke their leg, you're going to have to wait on them. They're not going to be able to take you to that thing they promised to take you to. Look at them. How could you do this to me? I'm wounded. I'm sick. I can't help myself. Hey, Mal. Wish you wouldn't pop out so fast, but I understand. You got stuff to do. It's all good. Love you, girl, and you're hysterically funny, by the way. I love Randy and Janelle, the bug lady, I think her name is. Oh my gosh, I laughed so hard. I just really enjoy your little characters. You're so talented. I won't say you missed your calling, but you really should do something with that talent. Get on a sitcom or something. I don't know. or one of those British comedy shows or dramas. Yeah, you're amazing, Mel Mel. You are. You know I don't like the crass language, but I listen around it sometimes because I just think you're a riot. Did you happen to see the parody that was done about me, Mel Mel? Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen this, go watch this, please. This woman knows me. Like, I mean, she knows my characteristics. So talented. I don't know if you know who Shimmer Soul is, but plug for Shimmer Soul. Amazingly talented woman. I've never seen her do anything like that. You will laugh your socks off. I laughed, and it's about me. It's me. You know? It was me to a T. Nobody's ever impersonated me that good other than Molly Golightly. She's another one that even has my lisp down pat. I hate my lisp. It's annoying. But you got to see it, Mel Mel. Seriously, you will be rolling. Come back and let us know what you think. Seriously. My husband's like, oh, honey, did you see the parody? And I'm like, somebody did a parody about me? He goes, you'll laugh. It's funny. And it wasn't done mean. It was done in fun. And that's how I took it. Okay, anyway. Oh, excuse me. I am going to bed soon. I seriously am because I'm tired. There's something called word salad. Her name is Shimmer Soul. Shimmer Soul. Yeah. And okay, so and Shimmer Soul has DID, so she has multiple personalities, and I'm not sure which personality did that. I was guessing it was Tanya, although the accent didn't really sound like Tanya's. Oh my gosh, so funny. So talented. All right, anyhow, I hope she does more, seriously, because I was laughing my head off. Word salad is when a narcissist runs you around in literal circles. And it's a diversion thing that they do to start bringing up things that aren't related to the topic you're talking about. And by the time they're done doing this to you, diverting the conversation, changing the subject, interjecting things that have nothing to do with anything, saying confusing words, you're going to be like, what on earth were we even talking about? Which is where the narcissist wants you to be. They want you to be confused because that way you can't confront the issues. They call it double speak. It's like a verbal trap and just being unreasonable and ridiculous. Who is that? Who is Shimmer Soul? She's a lady that has multiple personalities, and she has a channel. She has little skunks on her channel and like that. Just go check her out. She's funny. She's hysterically funny. All right. Anyway, so you cannot have a reasonable conversation with somebody like a narcissist who's going to use these crazy diversion tactics and making up stuff and creating things and questioning and interrupting you and all that stuff. It's very impossible. One of them is now, yeah, one of them is me. Well, just in a parody. I don't know if she turned into me. Okay. Narcissists are very emotionally dependent on people. They give this persona, this characteristic of looking like they got it all together, but actually they're very dependent on your feedback. And they pay very close attention to how you react and respond to them so that they know how to react and respond. Because remember, they lack an inner core. They need constant excitement, entertainment. The person in my life in the past actually told me when I became like her little sidekick co-minister, girlie, it's going to be your job to make sure that I'm constantly entertained. I'm like, what? Yeah, girlie, you got to find me interesting articles to read and stories. And I like songs, but you can't just keep giving me the same thing because I'll get bored really easily. Because one thing you don't know about me is I never finish what I start. Rarely ever. There's only one project I ever finished, and that was upholstering a stool, some kind of footstool or whatever. And I got to see it, and she did finish it. And it was beautiful. She's very talented. But she said, I just don't finish things. I get very restless, and I can't do it. Another thing about narcissists is they are never satisfied. They never get to that place where they can enjoy the spoils of what they have. There's always more. They always want more, bigger, better, faster, more powerful. Kind of reminds me of Tim the Toolman Taylor. You know, more, you know. Gotta have whatever you call it. He did that little growl all the time. I can't do it. Like that. But he always wanted bigger, more powerful, better, faster, stronger, and all that kind of stuff. So they're always trying to get more. They're always trying to push the envelope. They're always trying to go faster. If they're driving, they will risk their lives just to be faster and pass other people on the road. They have terrible road rage, a lot of them. They feel entitled to the road. They can't understand why they got a ticket for speeding. You know, I can't believe that officer stopped me. The nerve of him. You were speeding. What do you mean you can't believe it? Yeah, but he gave me a ticket. Can you believe that? Yeah, you were speeding. That's why he gave you a ticket. Yeah, but it's me. I mean, I don't get tickets. Okay, well, congratulations. Welcome to the universe because you just got your first ticket. Yeah, but it's not fair. It's not right. I didn't deserve it. You were speeding, so yeah, you did deserve it. You broke a law. Yeah, but you don't understand. This is me. I don't get tickets. Okay, I get your point, but yeah, you do. Now you have one. Like, shut up and put up and deal with it. All right. Anyways, when they act like this, it's very childish. And you got to remember, narcissists are basically 7-year-olds in an adult body. So they're always looking for something new and entertaining and risky and just things to fascinate them, just like a little kid. They use guilt trips and pity to get other people to feel bad for them. They're the poor picked on narcissist. Everybody mistreats them. Nobody understands them. You don't understand. They were the ones doing this, not me. Wolf in sheep's clothing, two-faced, projectors. All these words could characterize them. Yeah, keeping up Joneses type, yeah. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So, kind of like they start out really nice and giving and sweet, and then after they got you where they want you, they will jump down off of the podium and all of a sudden just find you very boring and annoying. I don't know why I ever hooked up with you. You're like the grossest person, and you're nothing like what I thought you were, and I can't believe I gave you the tea. Then they begin devaluing you. Here you go. Here you go, one love. You've been waiting for this. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. They go into terrible rages. And they will just mistreat you and say degrading things about you and make fun of you. In my case, there was an advertisement with Miss Piggy eating pizza, and the narcissist turned to her husband and looked over at me and said, "Doesn't that remind you of her? Doesn't that look like her? Oh my gosh, it's exactly like her. Oh, that's like you, girlie." Basically mocking me, degrading me, saying I look like a pig, like I ate like a pig, and in front of me, and just like, and I'm sitting there shaking my head going, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. They're doing this like I'm sitting right here. Hello. All right. See you, Mel Mel. Anyway, so this is confusing because what happens is they will lash out at you like maybe the night before, and this is what she did to me. She would just absolutely lash out at me, degrade me, mock me, put me down, just disintegrate me. And the next day when we woke up, morning, girlie, how'd you sleep? Huh? It confuses the heck out of you because they literally switch. Like somebody literally turns an on-off light switch on them. It's the most confusing and frustrating thing. I've seen even online where people can be one way to your face and then totally different when they're with other people and bad-mouthing you behind your back and finding great delight in the fact that everybody just joins in on the assassination of your character. And they'll deny that it ever happened. They'll even say that you're nuts and all that kind of stuff. And it's trauma bonding is what it is. It's a push-pull behavior. It creates PTSD in you. You start questioning, well, gee, maybe I'm making a bigger deal out of this. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe they didn't really mean to make fun of me. Maybe they were just enjoying the conversation and the advertisement, and they were just, saying that maybe we had the same shirt on, Miss Piggy and I, or whatever. You just find yourself really questioning yourself and self-doubting, which is a big threat when it comes to me, because narcissists want me to second guess myself, and I just don't. I'm not a second guesser. If I make a decision, I make a decision. As long as I'm sure that it's the right decision for me. Like you saw me tonight, I didn't even put up with the riffraff coming in here. Just like, boom, hide, gone. Not dealing with it. And that's how it's going to be from now on in here. Don't play me. Don't try me. I'm done. I'm done playing. I'm done tolerating. I'm done being, this pushover, whatever. Come on in and act the fool in here, and I'll just tolerate it a few times before I do something. Not anymore. It's going to be nipped in the bud so that it doesn't continue to perpetuate and take over my chat rooms. That's how it's going to be. Because there was some crazy making going on in here too. So you're not going to get word one in my chat room if you've hurt me in the past, if you have, and you continue to hurt me, or if you're degrading me in other people's chat rooms and I know about it, and believe me, I will know. And I know that you're bad news when you come in here and I see the name and I'm like, nope, you're gone. No questions asked, you're just gone. All right. Anyway, because I'm going to protect the people that come in here. And Matthew and I talked about it today. He's like, quality people that want to be here, that like what you have to say and have stuff to contribute can stay. Other people that are just coming in to get a rise out of you can leave, period. I know, Nine Angels. Yeah, you did. We talked about it today. Okay, excessive emotions. Narcissists will pour on the crocodile tears. They might laugh hysterically. They'll scream and yell and be obnoxious. They're good at that. That's what they do. They're all about acting. But to them, it's not acting. To them, you deserved it. To them, they're just, responding to something that hurt them or whatever. No, you won't see tears. That's right, One Love. It's crocodile tears, which means crocodile will fake you out by acting like they're crying. You get near to them and they'll eat you. Yeah. Okay, so, and you'll want to see them cry because they will treat you so bad, you're going to want revenge on them at some point. And by the way, it's not good to want revenge on people, but it's totally normal and understandable. With the kind of stuff they put you through and the psychological and emotional torment, you're going to feel very angry and you're going to want to get them back. Very normal, just not healthy to act on it, but normal to feel. All right, here we go. One Love, grooming. Grooming. This is a maneuvering and manipulation and a predatory act of putting somebody in a vulnerable position, which will create dependency on the narcissist.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm coming to bed soon too.
Nope.
Baby, no. Why, you slept better without me? Well, I'm almost done with this list. Can you just wait a few minutes? No? Anyways, then I guess I'll just let myself out, but don't lock the door.
I'm gonna lock it. I'm not going in.
Well, how am I gonna get in?
Not doing what you did last night.
And scare you by jiggling the lock?
If I'm nice, I'll let you in.
All right. I won't be long. All right. Anyways, so the victim will be more likely to trust and vulnerable, and let's see. They'll be easily programmed after a while because they know how to react to keep the narcissist from glaring at them or abusing them or ignoring them and giving them the silent treatment or taking away things that they want or withholding things that they want. They'll make little digs at you, but they'll like intersperse them with nice words. So you'll be like, was that a dig? Did they just literally say what I think they said? And yes, they did. And I even said that, like, when I first opened up my channel, that's what I said was, you're going to be questioning, did you really just hear what they said? Were they really that callous and tactless and rude? Yes, they are. I don't see Big Boy Country in here. Interesting. So they must have been under a different name that I blocked, possibly. All right. Anyways, they teach you. Dr. Phil says, and I agree with this, people teach you how to treat. You teach people how to treat you. Yeah. You teach people how to treat you by reacting to what they say and do. 851. Yeah, I don't see. Nowhere on here. Okay, well, anyway, and it's very true that how you react and respond to somebody, especially a narcissist, they know what gets you going. They know the buttons to push, they know the strings to pull, and they train you. That's how it is. And they teach you to ignore objectivity as well. You're going to start seeing stuff and wondering if you're really seeing what you're seeing, because you will lose your ability to step outside the situation and talk to yourself about the truth of what's really going on. You'll stop being objective. Dangerous, very dangerous. You always want to have your objectivity. All right. Okay, projection. If they're cheating on you, they're accusing you of cheating. If they're not doing anything around the house, they're going to accuse you of that. If they are jealous, envious, whatever, they're going to accuse you of being that. They will call you a narcissist if you confront them and say, hey, you're acting narcissistic. You're the one. You're the narcissist. And they'll like direct it right back at you. They use the term the pot calling the kettle black to apply to them. And that's very, very true. And they will accuse you of things that you never did. Good, 9 angels, smart. They believe they're above the law, like I told you earlier, so rules are only for everybody else. No guilt, no empathy, no remorse, no true remorse. They'll apologize, but they won't truly feel sorry. Cold-hearted, indifference, apathetic. They will not care if you have illnesses that happened because of their mistreatment and abuse of you. They don't care. They have to constantly hear how wonderful they are, how successful, powerful, intelligent, glorious, and gorgeous they are. They will surround themselves with people that continue to celebrate how wonderful they are. And they don't have a lot of friends. They don't have really any true friends. They have fans, they have followers, they have viewers, they have subscribers on here, that kind of thing. But friends, no, because they don't act friend-like to their friends. So they don't keep friends. Their friends leave them. So when they tell you that they never break up with anybody, everybody else leaves them, there may be an element of truth to that, but they make things so bad that the person finally cuts them off if they have any sense of self-worth left by the time they do. Me, I don't need to be hit over the head with an anvil 50 zillion times before I finally say, okay, you know what? That hurts too bad. I don't want to feel that again. I don't want to go through this pain. I finally healed and moved on from this. I don't want to re-experience it over and over and over again ad nauseum. I originally made a boundary for a situation where I said, unless help is given and it is lasting, consistent help, and I hear that more people are not being wounded and mistreated, then I'm not going back to that situation. And they can hem and haw and beg and plead and play victim and martyr and hero and try to be my savior and whatever they want to do. I'm done. That's it. Okay. The revolving door of victims keeps them in steady supply of all of the narcissistic supply that they need, the admiration, the adoration, the accolades, and all that stuff. Okay, let's see. They're talking again about love bombing, texts, phone calls, gifts. I miss you. They will gobble up your time. They'll expect and demand you spend all your time with them. You will find yourself tossing your friends aside, your family aside, disowning people, questioning people's motives. You'll lose a lot of friends if you're with a narcissist. You really will. Some of them will stick around to see how it all goes down, and maybe they'll be there for you when you're done. The most important thing is if you think you're in a relationship with a narcissist, or you think one's kind of moving in towards you and you're thinking maybe getting closer, always have a support group. Always. Even if you do hook up with a narcissist, move in with them, try to have a relationship, have people you can talk to that are sane. Seriously, because they'll keep you objective through the whole thing. And when it all goes down and you're falling apart, if you have those true friends and that support system there, it will be a lot easier to move on and heal from it. It will. Okay, we talked a little bit about smear campaigns, but they will paint you as crazy, bipolar, a cheater, a bad parent. They'll lie about you. They'll create doubt in people's minds about you. They will falsely accuse you. That the smear campaign works really well because a lot of times the victim doesn't have any support system and they isolate themselves. And then they're scared because they don't know where to go from there. And this is when you lose your friends, think of it like this. People move in and out of your lives for reasons, and somebody, if they're a true friend, they're going to stick with you through thick and thin. If they're not, you didn't need them. You don't need people in your life that feel obligated to be there, resentful for being there, or just plain don't want to be with you. Nobody's forcing them to be there, and you don't need to force them to be there. You're not that desperate. Find people that want to be with you. Surround yourself with people that celebrate you, not tolerate you. Believe it or not, that was the narcissist in my past telling on herself. That's what she told me. Girly, surround yourself with people that celebrate you, not tolerate you. She was letting me know that she was literally just tolerating me. Didn't celebrate me. She didn't want me around. She was doing it so that people could say, "Oh, you're such a good minister. Oh my gosh, it's so nice how you took that poor girl in and you bought her all that stuff. You're such a great friend, such a perfect mentor. You're such a wonderful pastor's daughter." That's why she did it. Just like my ex-husband does nice things for me so he can go back to the family and people that he meets on the job and tell them, how many people do you know that do that for their ex-wife? And people on here kind of bit the bait and said, "It's terrible how you talk about your ex-husband like that. Look at all the good things he's doing for you." I thought, you all are so clueless. You really are so clueless. Seriously. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about, because I'm losing my voice. I've been talking a while. It's been almost 3-4 hours of a live craziness. Gray rock. Let's talk about what gray rocking is. Basically, you go incognito on social media. You block them, you unfriend them, you unsubscribe from their posts, you get off of their Facebook, you delete them from your Facebook and block them on your Facebook, and you totally act like you never knew them. They hate this. It will kill them. They will do everything they can to get back with you. They will wine and dine you. They will smile at you. They will blow up your text messages, blow up your phone, and then, of course, turn and tell everybody else that you can't let go of them, that they told you to leave them alone, but you keep on calling them, you keep on texting them, you keep on writing them. No, they're the ones doing that to you. You're doing everything you can to say, "Leave me alone. Stop contacting me." The only reason I never changed my phone number with people was because my phone number is on everything. I don't want to have to go to my bank and things through. Just ignore it, hit delete, hit ignore, hit do not answer, whatever you got to do. Hang up on them. I don't know, whatever. This will really give them a narcissistic injury and they'll hate it. And they'll probably smear you even more because they absolutely hate it. They don't like not getting attention. They're used to everybody cowing to them and crawling back to them. And they're used to you crawling back to them if you do that. Somebody once told me, if you're going to leave your husband this time, Laura, you need to stay gone. Don't tell him you're leaving until you're ready to really disappear and stay gone. Because all you're doing is giving him ammo. He's sitting there mocking you, saying, he'll be back. She always comes back. And you go back for more abuse, and there's more abuse that you're going to have. And I did over and over again for several years. Till one day I said, you know what? I'm done. When he threatened to knock my head off or said I ought to knock your head off, and when I had a male friend that came along and said, you don't deserve this. Why are you putting up with this? You're online telling everybody away from narcissists, leave them, and you look at what you're living with. That's hypocritical. That was when I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, I'm done. And the reason he wanted to knock my head off was I wouldn't let him get into porn on my computer so that he could have fun with people online and also on our television set instead of coming and working marriage. And I said, after 23 years of this, well, actually more like 15 years out of the 23, I'm done and I can't do it anymore. And I don't believe a loving God would want me to go through this anymore. So I left. And yeah, so you just block them, ignore them, and make sure you tell everybody else to ignore them, block them, stay away from them. Anybody comes to you that is connected to them in any way, cut them off cold. When I was with the lady years ago, and she had her little flying monkey come to me and say, I know you wish it was you that was going to her house and hanging out with her. I know you're really not over her. And I knew I was over her and didn't want her constantly brought up and thrown in my face and to try to reconnect me with this person. I finally cut that mentor and the flying monkey out of my life. And I told that flying monkey, you go back to her and tell her, do not contact me. Lose my name, lose my number. I want nothing to do with her. I really am done this time. And as for you, you don't come across my path and contact me either. Yes, I am finished with her. No, I don't want her back. No, I do not wish it was me because I know what it was to be me and be in that trap and believe that I had found a true friend and a true mentor and somebody that would be kind to me and love me, and we would go to Africa together and minister. And I know how that blew up in my face, and I know how she mocked me and betrayed me and did the stuff she did to me. So no, I don't miss that. And no, I don't wish it was me. So you can take your little words of trying to manipulate me and woo me back across her pathway and her back across mine and shove it, basically, is in so many words is what I told her. Go, get out of my face. And I no longer talk to that person on Yahoo. I would not take texts. I would not take calls. Here I am years later, probably a lot better for the wear. And that's the only way you're ever going to completely heal from them, is just totally cut them off. Do your inner healing work yourself. Do the chair technique where you scream and yell at a chair as if it's that person. Tell them what you think of what they did to you, and then release them. Just say, you know what? I'm apathetic. I have no feelings towards you whatsoever. I don't care what happens in your life. It's in God's hands. I'm not going to feel happy for you. I'm not going to feel sad for you. I'm not going to feel for you at all. I'm just not going to feel anything. And people recently had called me on this, okay? And said, well, Jesus wouldn't do that. Jesus said to love everybody. Okay, Paul in the Bible parted from Barnabas. When Paul parted from Barnabas, he did not then thereafter reconnect with him. He did not send word from anybody to go and check on Barnabas and see how he was doing. He became apathetic. He didn't care anymore. Like, you know, it's too bad we parted ways. We didn't see eye to eye. You know, I wish him well, Godspeed, whatever. You go your way, I'll go mine, and there the paths shall cross again. In Barnabas's case, whatever the issue was, he never came back across Paul's path as far as we know. And in my case, with the people that I'm dealing with, they need some serious help. And people have said to me, you need some help, delusion dispeller. Guess what? I saw my therapist today. I wanted to tell all y'all that. I went to my therapist today because I now have a vehicle so I can get there. We had a lovely talk. It was great to reconnect. I have an appointment next week. So, yes, I see a therapist. And you know why? Because all y'all crazy makers out there have made it to the point where I'm finding myself revisiting narcissists again and attracting unhealthy, toxic people into my life and tolerating them and believing that they're my friends only to have them stab me again. So, yeah, I'm back at my therapist so I can work through my issues and talk about my life. I was just waiting for a vehicle to get there because it's just easier to drive. And not only that, God is good because, yeah, Matthew was with me. We go to each other's therapy appointments. God is good because the therapist happened to just recently have some hours given to her at the therapy place closer to me. So God is good. That's an open door. That's a blessing. And I'm very happy to have my darn therapist back. She's more like a friend because we're kind of like fellow therapists because she knows I have psychology degrees and she doesn't treat me as less than her. We sort of just share ideas and process thought patterns and stuff together. But she knows about the people online and the certain person online that hurt me recently and has been on and off all along. And she agrees with me. Cut her off cold. Go gray rock completely. Do not take texts. Do not take phone calls. Act like you never knew them. Be done. So that's what I'm doing. And any of the Goonies that come in here from there, any of the flying monkeys will be hidden on the channel. And I will get my channel back. And I will get my sanity back. And I will reclaim who I am. So, yes, if you venture into places unknown or known where these people are, and I find out about it, and I find out that there is conversation going on, and you're part of it, plan on being hidden on my channel. I don't care who you are. I don't care what friendship we have now or in the past. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not putting up with it. I'm not having fair-weathered friends hook up with me. I want only true friends. So that's it. That's how it is. So like it or lump it, that's how it is. Yes, they clone accounts. I know for a fact the people involved have come in here in other names. I know one particular name, something about a helmet or whatever, was a perverted, some kind of a dig at me. And they're not allowed in here anymore either. Gamers act a certain way, so I can usually tell who a gamer is if they come in from like Reddit or whatever. And they act pretty like they don't know what's going on in the room anyways. And they act young, so you can kind of tell. But there are certain names I recognize, and I know that they go other places, and I know that they're joining in on the bash me conversation, and they're not welcome here. People that bash me are not welcome here. If they don't gather with me, they gather against me. Even Jesus himself said that. If you don't gather for me and with me, you are against me. You are of your father, the devil, if you don't serve God. Plain and simple. If you're messing with stuff that's against the Bible, then no, you don't. You're not a godly person. Anyway. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I know, One Love. I know you. And I would call you on the phone in a heartbeat and say, hey, Chica, were you in here? And you'd be like, no. No, I know some names that have been cloned. I know, and I know who's behind it. And I know somebody that thinks that puts on and portrays that they know nothing about computers, that is very talented at hacking computers, making other accounts, sneaking in places, lurking, typing as other people. They're probably watching me right now, so whatever. But they're not typing, so I don't really care. Just don't make yourself known in my room because I'll know who you are most likely 9 times out of 10. And if you do and you start confronting me, bringing up stuff, you'll get hidden. period. That's just how it will be. And really, StreamYard needs to make this capacity where if you hide somebody, they are hidden like YouTube does. And I'm going to be talking to StreamYard about that and make that suggestion because everybody has a right to feel safe. And my room was always the safe room where people could come, have conversation, and not have a bunch of garbage going on and tension and fighting. And I don't want that to happen anymore. So, yeah, we'll be talking about topics and stuff like that, and bringing each other's life situations up, and you can feel safe in here. Yep, it's gonna be that again. All right, y'all, I'm tired. My throat hurts from talking too much, and tomorrow I got to tutor again, so I think I'll go save my voice and get off of here for now. Thank you so much for coming in tonight and hanging with me and listening to this interesting presentation. I-aware. What's I-aware, honey? Oh man, this yawning is ridiculous. I think it's because I'm just so tired. Even though we don't really yawn because we're tired, we yawn because we need oxygen, which I'm going to go outside and get some oxygen in a minute. I'm about to come out, honey, so please open the door. Leave the light on for me, like Motel 6. Anyway, tomorrow I will be tutoring 9 to 12, 1 to 4. Maybe more. Who knows? There's nothing really. Oh, wait. No, not 9 to 12. What am I saying? 10 to 12? I don't know. We have another appointment tomorrow with a marriage counselor, but we're going to be trying to switch marriage counselors and check out this other lady too. So, but God bless everybody. Thanks for contributing and being so interesting in here and enjoying the topic. Love ya. Group hug, group hug. And we'll see you soon, one love, right? In person, live and in person. Tuesday. Oh yeah, next Tuesday, huh? You want me to call the hotel and make sure they have a pool for you, for us, whatever? Matthew totally wants to go swimming at your hotel and hang out with you. All right, I will. I'll look into that tomorrow. All right, cool. We will do a meet and greet. Yeah, that'll be cool. All right, God bless everybody. I'm going to get going. Have a good one. Bye.